back for another Table Talk session. I'm so excited. You're back, I'm back, and we're talking about keto. So come keto with me. All right, today's Table Talk session is about keto. It is about the lifestyle change that I made in order to lose 80 pounds. And right now I'm at a place of maintenance. I did a video on what keto is all about. Today's video is going to be on the things that you should and shouldn't eat. It'll be nice and simple so you'll know the list. I also mentioned in the last video that I have a 30-day meal plan. Gives you 4 weeks of what ideas you can get to cook or to prepare for meals. If you are interested in that 30-day meal plan, I will insert the email that you can send a request through in order to receive that meal plan. You also can find me on Facebook or on Instagram, and you can direct inbox me through those social websites or platforms as well. Getting right to today's table talk session. So on keto, there are of course things that you can eat and there are things that you should not eat. And in the last video, I explained that the highest or optimal level where your body is doing what it should do, which is to burn the fat, is when you're in a place of ketosis. Hence the name keto comes from ketosis or ketones, the ketogenic diet. You want to be in ketosis. When you're in ketosis, that means your body is burning that fat, right? What will happen is if you're not eating the foods that you should be eating, you will not get into a place of ketosis and you will not burn as much weight or burn as much fat to lose as much weight. If you are on the right track and you eat over the allotted grams of carbs for the day, which are 25 grams. I do not count grams. I don't do the macros. Some people are very, very strict in the sense that they count. They look at the labels and they read the ingredients that has labels on it and they actually count the carbs they're consuming, per day, their weighing and all of that. I don't do that. I just know what to eat. I avoided the things that I shouldn't eat, and that's how I've stayed on track. Again, if you eat those foods that you should not eat, it'll knock you out of ketosis, and you won't lose as much weight as fast as you could, basically. So, getting to the things that you can eat on keto, there are foods that, of course, you're going to be like, I can eat that. Yes, you can eat it. There are a lot of things that you can eat. And even if we were not even talking about just keto, we're talking about a low carb diet. This is exactly the same thing. Some people refer to this as like the Atkins diet from back in the day. It's very, very much so like the same thing. So proteins, we're talking about any beef, any pork. We're talking about you can have lamb, you can have game, you can have poultry, that chicken. You can have that any kind of way. You can have it baked, you can have it boiled, you can have it sauteed, you can have it fried. The thing about the fried part is you will not be coating the chicken in flour. Instead, you have alternatives that we use, which are healthier for you, such as almond flour, coconut flour, pork skins. I have a food processor, and that'll be one of the videos I show is how to prepare some of these meals in the keto way. But you would grind that up so it's very fine, almost like you would see flour, and then you're able to put that batter and fry it in olive oil or avocado oil, grapeseed oil, the healthier oils, basically. And you will have it the same way. A lot of times I bake just because it's easier for myself to definitely do a meal that I know is going to spread over days worth of time. But I sometimes saute when I do stir fries. I do it on the oven, on the stove top, on the oven. I do it on the top of the stove, on the stove top. So proteins, talking about beef, pork, lamb, game, poultry. You do want that protein in your diet daily. All right, moving to the next category is fish and seafood. Any kind of fish, any kind of seafood. You want to eat salmon on your ketogenic lifestyle diet. You want to eat that salmon because it has that healthy fat. And remember, fat burns fat. And a part of having the ketogenic diet is consuming a high moderation of fats in your diet. Eggs. Oh my goodness. I have eggs, and that's a sense of protein as well. When I make pancakes, which I have a video on how to make these easy, delicious pancakes. You can eat boiled eggs. You can have them scrambled. You can have them sunny side up. It's however you would like to prepare those eggs, but you want to make sure that you're getting some eggs into your diet. Even if it's every day, every other day, try and get at least 2 eggs into your diet. Healthy fats. When we talk about healthy fats, I'm talking about real butter. Say that with me. Real butter. Real butter. You want real butter in your diet, not margarine. Believe it or not, margarine was not really intended ever for us to consume, but they needed something to do with this product and they sold it, flavored it up, and now people eat it. You want real butter. A brand that I use to cook with, that I use personally, is Kerrygold butter. You can get any kind of butter that's organic. You know that is true butter, just not margarine. Stay away from that if you can. That's not that's processed. Not what you want to consume. Coconut oil is a healthy fat. Olive oil is a healthy fat. Avocados are healthy fats. You want to consume as much of these healthy fats as you can. When I make kale, when I make spinach, when I'm making broccoli, basically a lot of things that I cook, I drizzle in either the olive oil, I will melt some of the butter, saute it in with the butter. You're trying to get that healthy fat incorporated into what you're eating. Moving on, dairy. Now, with the condition that I've talked about, PCOS, dairy is not our friend sometimes. So, you want to kind of monitor your body, and you could have a food allergy and not know it. You may have a food allergy, so kind of pay attention to your body. But when you are eating dairy, dairy has helped me to stay on track with keto. The reason being is because cream cheese, I never really ate it before keto, but after starting keto, it is like a sugar replacement. Like, it is so delicious. I eat cream cheese with my strawberries or my fruit. I eat cream cheese as a part of my breakfast when I put it in the pancake batter mix that I make. Like, cream cheese goes in mac and cheese that I make. Cream cheese goes in um, a hamburger recipe that I make. Cream cheese is just amazing. Like, oh my gosh, cream cheese is a staple. Every time I go grocery shopping, literally, I buy 2 to 3 bars of it because we use it weekly. Any kind of cheese you typically are able to consume on keto. And what I do recommend though is that you buy the blocked cheese. I pre-shred my cheese when I come home. I have a cheese grater. I grate the cheese myself. And the reason why, the next time I want you to go to the store, the next time when you're at the store, I want you to look at the back of a cheese that's blocked. Look at the ingredients that are in that. And then I want you to compare that to the shredded cheese pack. And you'll notice that there are tons of ingredients listed on the shredded cheese packet versus the block cheese. And there's a reason why, because it has added ingredients that are processed, and that's not really what you want on keto. I believe in doing keto in the clean way. Some people do dirty keto. That means they eat, right, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday they splurge and cheat and all of that. In order for me to stay on track for myself, I just did clean keto because I knew that that's what I could handle, and that's what my husband could handle. So that's what we did. So I'm teaching you more like a clean keto style, and it worked. Fruits, you can eat anything that basically ends in the term berry. Okay, strawberry, raspberry, blueberry. You typically want to stick to the fruits that are low on the glycemic level. Now, when I say glycemic level, I'm talking about fruits that will not spike your insulin. Just like a diabetic should not eat all kinds of fruits because the sugar just jumps into their blood stream and it spikes their insulin. It makes your body, your heart, things work quicker than it should, more than it should. You want to stick to fruits that are on the low glycemic level. So Google low GI fruits and you'll compare an orange to a strawberry and you can see how many grams of sugar are in that, and even carbs are a part of that. But you want to Google that and see what fruits are on the low glycemic level. Stick to those fruits. If you do berries, anything that ends in berries, you won't go wrong on the keto diet. All right, we're almost finished. When you're on the keto diet, you can eat nuts. And when I say nuts, you want to eat like almonds. You want to eat like pecans. You can have macadamia nuts. You want to stick with nuts that are not coated with like canola oils and sunflower oils, cotton oils, those kind of like processed oils. You want to research some of that too. Some of these oils, when we consume it, it brings in toxins into your body. And then again, you're not going to be doing a clean style keto. Now, peanuts are delicious. And I actually think peanuts helped with regulation because on keto, sometimes you feel constipated. I think peanuts actually helped me. Now, when you Google, peanuts are not on the list of things or nuts that you should eat. So, what I will say is that if you eat peanuts, eat them in moderation. I do believe that peanuts help me to regulate myself with going to the restroom. So, I did try to incorporate them every so often. What you'll notice is if you weigh yourself like every other day or the days after you've had peanuts, you want to check to see if you've lost weight. If you feel that you are not losing that weight, you want to back away from the peanuts. You want to back away from the skins so you don't get to a place of stagnation. You want to be able to make sure that you're maintaining that fat burning and not knocking yourself out of ketosis because there are carbs. Anything over 25 grams of carbs a day will kind of send you over your ketosis marker and throw you off. So you want to stay under 25 grams if you can, especially at least 30. Stay under 30 grams of carbs a day to stay in that ketosis mode. All right, two things left, and these two, please pay attention. I have people ask me all the time, what do you drink on keto? Okay, I drink seltzer water. And prior to keto, I probably would have looked at that drink and said, oh, that is disgusting. But after withdrawing myself from sugars, you realize that your body gets a new taste, but it grows new taste buds. And the things that you thought were delicious before, they're not as good now, but they're overly sweetened. And so I don't really like sugary drinks anymore. Like, there's just too much sugar. The corn syrup, like, oh, it's just too much, too much. So I drink seltzer water. You can buy flavored seltzer water. Typically, there's a store we go to, it's called Lidl. Walmart sells it also, but they come in cases and they are delicious. There's raspberry flavor, lemon flavor. The lemon flavor tastes just like Sprite, but there's no calories, there's no sugars in it. It's just water, it's just seltzer water that's flavored naturally. You also can drink tea. Now, there's a product called Swerve, and Swerve is a natural sweetener. It is not like the regular white sugar that'll spike your insulin. So, if you want to drink tea, read the ingredients on the tea. Please read the ingredients. See if it is actually a clean tea. You can make that tea like you normally would, and then add the Swerve as a sweetener to sweeten the tea so that it would be like sweet tea, right? The last thing, and this is one of the most important things that I can ever share with keto, there are three things that will help you to feel amazing while you're doing keto. And these three things, if they're lacking in your body, they're lacking in your system, you will know it. You will feel it, and it is not fun. I went through the keto flu because I had never done keto before, and it's like a learn as you go. And what I'm sharing is through experience. I had extreme leg cramps. I was not able to sleep very well, had a headache that was out of this world. So much so that I had to go to the hospital because I was like, I've never felt this bad before in my life. And I had only been doing keto for about a week. Okay. So when I got to the hospital, they basically had to give me IVs, and they noticed that my whatever is the terminology for sodium, basically that aspect was low, and I needed electrolytes. I needed water. I was dehydrated. On keto, the three things that you must make sure that you are maintaining are your magnesiums, potassiums, and sodium. Magnesium, you can do the supplements if you want to, or you can just make sure that you're eating a lot of green leafy vegetables, the broccolis, the kales, the spinach. You want to make sure you're eating those vegetables that you should have. Magnesium will help you to not be constipated. Keto constipation is real. You will have to you'll want to go to the bathroom and then you can't. And you're like, why am I not going? Well, you'll get constipated. And that's a part of the change in your body and your diet. I will say that when you're on keto, you don't go to the bathroom as frequently as you would if you were just doing the standard American diet, and that's okay. It's okay if it's been 2 days and you haven't gone. Pew! Like Siobhan, say what? It's okay. It's okay. Because your body is not processing down those floured foods and things that you had before. It's just switching over and you're on a different kind of regimen. So it's okay if 2 days have gone and you haven't used the restroom. But you do want to get yourself to where you know you're incorporating that magnesium and you are at least having a bowel movement and not feeling super backed up, because that will be uncomfortable. Sodium. I told you that my legs were cramping. I'm talking about like terrible cramps in my legs, in my arms. I'll feel it. I'll know when my electrolytes are low. I'll feel the cramps and I'm like, oh my gosh, I will recommend that if things get that bad, you can do this in moderation. You can have either electrolyte drinks such as a zero Gatorade in moderation, because there are electrolytes in this. You, of course, drink water, but you also want to make sure that you are sprinkling salt. Hear me. Salt. You're wanting to sprinkle salt on your meals. And I know a lot of people are like, well, my doctor said, don't do the salt. But when you changed your diet, a lot of those foods that you were eating were processed and had tons of salt loaded in it. When you're eating more so clean, you're having to put the salt on your food because you're cooking the broccoli, the kale, those things that aren't processed. You're cooking the chicken that's not processed. You're cooking these things. You want to make sure you have that sodium and potassium in your diet. 3, magnesium, potassium, sodium incorporated every day. If not, you will feel it, you will know it. All right. The last part is pretty easy. It's basically the things that you should not eat. All right. The things that you should not eat are basically sugar. You don't want to eat things that will spike your insulin, which would be sugar. That's adding white sugar. That's looking for any ingredients on labels. When I look at this drink, for example, on the back, you need to Google words that you do not recognize. There are so many ingredients in foods nowadays, it's ridiculous, but you will know if that is good for you or is not. Typically, things that end in ose, like glucose, dextrose, those are code words of sugar. You want to avoid those. And I know that only because when I was at the store first starting off, I would Google the words and I'm like, what is such and such and such? And it would tell me, if it's processed, things like that. You don't want that. Starches, you're avoiding sugars, you're avoiding starches, so your breads, your pastas, potatoes, fries, chips, those starches, things like that. You're avoiding margarine. Again, that was never initially intended for us to consume. You're avoiding alcoholic beverages. I don't drink anyway, but just saying, on keto, you want to avoid alcoholic beverages, and you want to avoid any fruits that are high on the glycemic level, because that again will spike your insulin and it'll make your heart work more, your blood work, harder than it should, and it will knock you out of ketosis. I hope that this has been helpful in telling you the things that you should eat on keto, things that you should not eat on keto. If you have any questions, please remember to direct inbox me either by emailing me at tabletalksessions@gmail.com, or find me on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Table Talk Sessions, or Instagram, Table Talk Sessions. Thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you on our next video as I share actual recipes and show you some live in action videos of me cooking on keto. Check back. This is our health talk session on keto. See you next time.